What is up? Happy World Cup, everyone. It is almost time for one of the best events of anything. Some people prefer Christmas. Some people prefer the 4th of July. Some people prefer Ramadan. Some people prefer Groundhog's Day. Whatever the hell you like, whatever the hell you're into, the World Cup is better. Um, it's everything, man. Uh, I've been watching qualifiers for the last 2.5 years, uh, just getting into it. The crazy thing, I'm a huge sports fan. Um, I'm excited for the UFC fights. I was just watching Hamza Jamaya and Sean Strickland face off. But the World Cup is number one. I often tell people March Madness and the World Cup are my favorite holidays, and I go back and forth which one, but the World Cup. Uh, my wife could tell you how many times I watched the 2002 goal highlights, 2006, 2010, watching Diego Maradona documentaries, watching 94 Colombia documentaries. The World Cup's number one. I don't give a shit what you say. World Cup's number one. So what I decided to do this year, I wrote a World Cup preview book. It's out on Amazon. If you got an extra $15, go get that. It'll preview 48 teams, talk about some of the players that maybe you can expect to watch and maybe fall in love with. Tell a couple stories about my life. But I decided also I want to do a preview podcast, and got a buddy that I said I want to do this with. He's busy, he's grinding, he's trying to make money, trying to get after it, to save up a little bit for us because we're actually going to Mexico for the World Cup this year. I'm a teacher here in Lincoln, Nebraska, so spending money on the World Cup, saving money for the World Cup is crazy. These tickets are expensive as shit. It's been the talk all over. Everybody's probably well aware of how much these tickets are. But I'm going. I'm going to be at Azteca Stadium for opening match Mexico South Africa. They're running it back. 2010. I was young then. I didn't have the receding hairline. It was crazy. 2010, and that was the opening match. Chevy Lala scoring that goal, doing that dance, having all South Africa. I became a huge fan of Bafana. But I'm Mexican. I'm half Mexican. I got the Mexican tattoo. USA is number one to me. I'm an American soccer fan, but I'm not one of those guys that hates Mexico. Like some people say, shit, I don't give a shit. I love all the teams. But I root for Mexico. Will be my number two team. USA is number one. But there is not a team I'm going to hate on. I don't care what anyone says. I love them all. I find a reason to love every single team in this, but I'm going to root for Mexico in this group. But I'm going to go group by group and talk about maybe a couple players and a couple things that you should expect. Just really quick, I'm shout out a couple people that I like to follow and kind of gave me some inspiration to do this. Give and Go for sure. I discovered them before the last World Cup and actually watching previews. They did team by team, all 32 teams, and I fell in love with it. I was looking forward to it. I think I rewatched a couple of those a few times. Michael Talks Football, another one. He's doing that same thing right now with all 48 teams. Very insight. You could tell all of those guys just love the game. Um, I love the Hurt Gomez. I follow Men in Blazers. Obviously, I'll follow. Macwell is one that I've been enjoying more and more. Dude's freaking funny. So I wanted to do some. I'm a teacher. I've been doing that for 15 years. So I figured, I love the World Cup. Let's talk. I got some buddies that are going to get involved. Maybe they hop on a couple groups, but the plan is 12 groups, go group by group, and then maybe do a 13th one right before this shit's going to start to give our official preview or predictions before I head off to Mexico and go on that journey. So start with Group A, Mexico, Memo Ochoa. Memo Ochoa. Okay, you know he's going to be there. Somehow their other keeper's going to get hurt, or who knows? Maybe shit, they might just throw him out there. He's there every single time. He disappears and reappears. It's just like that movie Groundhog's Day. He's there. He's a force. He's got that beautiful curly hair, and he'll make plays and he'll make magic. And Mexico knows they can count on him. And it being at home soil, it's even more special. It's always special, this tournament, to Mexico. As you can tell, they're the only team, the only country that's got to host the World Cup 3 times. I mean, nobody else can say that. So I think the world understands, FIFA understands how important the World Cup is to Mexico and how they enjoy it and how they can truly embrace it and find the beauty of it. Copa Mundial. I remember I was at a Mexican restaurant. I was like talking to this guy, hey man, you ready for the World Cup? He was like, what? I'm like, man, you don't know what the World Cup is? Shit, we're at a Mexican restaurant. You don't know what the World Cup is? And then he finally said, Mundial. Yes, the Mundial. I call it the World Cup, whatever the hell you call it. We all love it. Another player, Julián Quiñones. This dude is electric. He is scoring goals at a rate higher than Cristiano Ronaldo right now in the Saudi League, which is pretty damn crazy, man. He has the ability to just take over this. He's going to become a superstar. He's going to be a big money player somewhere in Europe after this. He's a big time goal scorer. Okay. You have Edson the Machine Álvarez. He's the key to the midfield. He's a defensive, just brick shithouse that's going to just be all over the field, winning 50-50 balls. He is going to provide a lot of the leadership for this Mexico team that's going to carry him in this. You got Gilberto Mora, 17 years old. He might be one of the most talked about young Mexican stars in a long time, maybe ever. He's got all the hype. He's got all the Mexican fans. There's going to be tons of Gilberto Mora jerseys. He recently just made headways because the dude freaking said Mexico is the favorites in this World Cup. You got to appreciate someone with those type of nuts to say Mexico is the favorite. I was just out at the casino. I think according to the odds, they're looking at about like the 13th or 14th. They're right in the middle of the pack. Okay, we know who the favorites are. You got the Spains, France, England, Argentina. Those are the favorites. Then right below them, you have your Brazils, your Portugals, your Germany is right around there. Okay, below that, then we're getting closer to the Mexico territory. So for him to have those nuts to say that, you can understand the type of confidence that he has. And man, is he electric. He is a stud. I have a feeling this summer everyone's going to see that the hype on him is 100% for real. The guy that kind of popped off recently, Brian Gutierrez. He was raised in Chicago, Illinois, and he is a special talent. I think there's still questions on, is he going to be in the starting 11? I don't know, but I feel by the end of this tournament, he's going to be in the starting 11. The dude is just electric playmaker. And the crazy thing, him and Mora, they're going to be on this team for the next decade. So it's something special. They're going to have a massive home crowd advantage. I'm going to be rooting for them. I'm going to be in Mexico City opening match. I'm going to be in Guadalajara for their match against South Korea. Mexico's the real deal, and they should be taken very seriously. Korea, the Red Devils, Son Heung-min. Everybody knows Son. Everybody's going to be rooting for Son. I love Korea. I was stationed in Korea 2003 in the United States Army. I drive a Kia Soul. I have a Samsung. I have a South Korea jersey. I love South Korea. I'm going to be rooting for them. I love Korean barbecue. Son, in a group that's such a toss-up, all these teams, it's a very even group. There's probably 2 or 3 groups that are maybe considered, you could say, as even as this one, where you could see any of the team finishing 4th. You could see any of them finishing 1st. And with a dude like Son in this type of tournament where all of the games are coin flip, he could make the difference. He could be that person to create the special moments that give them a win instead of a draw, which could end up having him top this group. Kim Min-jae, the monster, one of the best center backs in the world. He starts regularly for Bayern Munich. Great strength, great speed, ability to shut down attacks. He's one of the most critical players for South Korea in the defense. They're going to be a little undersized, especially in matches against Czechia. He's a big player that could eliminate some of those mistakes and maybe prevent some of the set piece goals. So he looked for him to be a big player. Lee Kang-in, currently playing for PSG, elite dribbling, great vision. He's going to be a guy that could provide some beautiful through balls to Son to create those goals. The Red Devils are going to want to do something special for the Son's last ride. They're in a super manageable group, and I think they should be favored to get out of this group. I see some people picking them first, some people picking them fourth. I was watching the CBS Morning Footy show where they brought in a fan from South Korea, and he was saying that the expectation for them is quarterfinals. I don't know about that, but I would be absolutely shocked if they don't get out of this group. Okay, Son's not going to let this team die in the group stage. South Africa, Bafana hosted the 2010 World Cup. Shebby Lala, we already talked about him. I could talk about Shebby Lala for a while. He's one of the figures that made me such a fan of the World Cup and probably led to me doing this right now, writing the book, all that stuff. But let's talk about some of the players that are going to be on this squad. You got Ronan Williams. I think he's going to be the best goalie in this group. Take a drink of my tequila here. Ronan Williams, only keeper in AFCON history to have 4 penalty saves in a single match. I think he's going to be the best goalie, like I mentioned. I think he has the ability to keep clean sheets, which could allow them to progress out of the group. Oswin Apollos, he's one of the breakout stars for his team. Watching the AFCON this year and watching World Cup qualifiers, somehow this dude finds space in every damn match, multiple times a match. Sometimes he just needs to be a little bit more clinical and a little bit more lethal to finish his chances. But damn, he's going to have goal scoring opportunities because he just somehow finds that space. Kalisu Mudau. I think he's a little bit of a Dave Chappelle lookalike. When I'm watching him, I'm thinking of Dave Chappelle stand-up, which shout out Dave Chappelle, one of the GOATs. I think he's one of the best right backs, Mudau, one of the best right backs on the continent, consistently making overlapping runs. Sometimes can be a little shaky on the defensive side, but he's going to be one of the main providers to get into that final third and cross it in. Dude never gets tired. He's going to be one of the keys that Bafana want to do something and potentially get out of the group, which they couldn't do in 2010. Chetchia, they're known for their castles, their beer, their hockey. Chechians know how to party. I'm looking forward to having some beers with them in Mexico as I'm down there and they're in this group. They do most of their damage on set pieces, and they've shown by winning 2 penalty shootouts in the UEFA play-in tournament, beating Ireland, which sucked. I was really hoping Ireland got there. I'm a huge Conor McGregor fan, and I was hoping I was envisioning somehow Conor McGregor was in Mexico at the same time as me, and somehow we just became best friends. But they're not going to be there. Maybe 2030 you get back there, Ireland, and McGregor, I can finally meet you and we can hang out and become the best friends we were destined to be. Chetchia also won in a shootout over Denmark, which the Danes were most people's prediction to get out of that playoff. So Chetchia knows how to survive. Okay, the only problem is in the group stage, there's no shootouts. So after 90 minutes, if you're tied, you're going to have a point. And if your goal differential is 0 because you tie every match, it might be difficult to progress to the knockout rounds. Couple players I think will be key for Chetchia. They're gonna have somebody scoring a set piece. They're gonna have a defender pop up there and score one. But one of the leaders of this team, Tomas Suchek, he's the heartbeat of the team. Box to box midfielder, set piece threat. One of the most consistent performers. He's going to anchor the midfield for Chetchia, and if they want to pull out a result, Suchek is going to be one of the keys there. Patrick Schick, he's the main man. He's the one that probably most people know about. He's the main scoring threat. He's tall, he's fit, he's good looking, and he has a history for scoring in the big moments for Chetchia. And he has a potential he could score a goal on a set piece, and Chetchia can pull out some 1-0 victories and maybe progress out of this group. Now looking at the match schedule, Mexico, all their matches are in Mexico here. This is from my World Cup preview book match schedule. It's out on Amazon right now. I mean, shoot, you could get it just for this match schedule. It's pretty fire. But when I'm looking at it, Mexico gets to play all of them. That's going to be a huge advantage. There's no way Mexico's not getting out of this group. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It was darkness for El Tri. A lot of people, their fans, they just made some headways by their Mexican Federation announcing that certain players couldn't get called up if their clubs don't cooperate. Don't matter. Mexico's not going to go. They're not going to lose enough points to not get out of this group. But breaking down game by game here for what I see now. Opening match at Azteca on Thursday, June 11th. What a time to be alive, and I'm going to be there. It's crazy. There's no way Mexico's losing that match. Put your money down. Mexico's winning. I see it 2-0. I could see it being I could see it being 2-1. But I got a feeling Mexico's winning that match. South Korea, Czechia. That game will be playing Guadalajara also on Thursday, June 11th. Oh, man. I think Chetchia is going to score a set piece because they're going to bully them. They're going to have more size. But I think South Korea is going to pull out this match. They're going to find a way. I could see this one being it could be a 1-1, and then all of a sudden Son just creates something out of nothing, and now it's 2-1. South Korea is getting those 3 points. Match day 2, Thursday, June 18th. Czechia versus South Africa. That's the only game that's being played in the United States. That one, it's Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which fire stadium. Atlanta, Magic City. For the wings, of course. Not for the dancers, just for the wings. That's what everybody goes there for. Nobody goes there for the dancers. Everybody goes for the wings. Okay? But if you're there, go get some wings there. I think that's going to be a crazy game. I have a feeling this is the one where South Africa shows out, though. Mudau is going to do something crazy. I could see Apollos hitting his shots here in this one. They're going to have a shot from outside the box. This is the one where South Africa's dancing. They get the flair. I'm going to say South Africa win this game 2-0. Maybe Chetchia gets a set piece on this one, 2-1. Don't be shocked if this is a draw, but I'm just saying I feel like this is the match South Africa shows out and Bafana creates new fans like they did in 2010. Match day 3. Oh, sorry. We got Mexico, South Korea. How in the hell? What a song in Mexico versus Mexico. Woo. That is going to be straight fire. I'm going to say Mexico are going to win this one 1-0. I could see this one being a 0-0. Both teams being happy with 4 points. Moving on to match day 3. Wednesday, June 24th, Czechia at Mexico. I could see this one being a draw. I could see this one. Mexico's fine. Just sitting back 0-0. Maybe it's a 1-0. Mexico's comfortable now. They have a win over South Africa. They have a win over South Korea. Let's get 7 points, get out of this group, finish top of the group. South Africa, South Korea. I think South Korea is going to win this game. They're going to win it 1-0. And then it's going to finish. So we got Chetchia. I could see maybe 1-2 points. Prove me wrong, Chetchia. Prove me wrong. I got you at 4th. I hope I'm wrong. I look forward to partying with you. I'm glad you're back at the World Cup, but I got you 4th. 3rd place on 3 points, I got South Korea, and then they just got to cross their fingers and hope that they can get through on goal differential. I got South Korea sitting on, so we had them 3. I got them at 6 points. That's obviously going to be good enough to get through. And then I got Mexico, El Tri, on 7 points, top in the group. This is awesome, man. I'm excited to do this 11 more times, preview the groups. Hopefully I get my buddies to do this with me. And the World Cup's almost here. I'm excited. I got my baby here. Right here. Come here, pug. Come say hi. This will be her first World Cup. Pesci the pug. We're excited. We're a month out, 35 days out. Tequila, pugs, talking the World Cup. 75 degrees in Lincoln, Nebraska. Life's good, y'all. Happy World Cup. We're almost there. Look forward for the next episode coming out in a few days. Group B preview. But Group A's done. Vamos el 3.